story about street pickup in Kyiv, Ukraine during war. So, welcome, Matt.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello, hello. Fine, thank you. How are you doing after your trip?
Decent enough, fighting off a cold. Other than that, I'm good.
Okay, guys, Matt, as I understood, you were in Ukraine, and how were you there for? There for? How
How
long
long?
you were there for?
So I was there for 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Initially, it was planned as two. Yeah.
Okay. And how you feel being in Ukraine during the war?
Well, I'll be honest. So I don't know if Joe told you this or not. I'm a widower. My wife died in 2019. So I've already got a headstone and all that stuff. And whenever you've got a headstone that's just waiting on the last date, it kind of changes your perspective on life, if that makes sense.
Definitely, I guess. Um, oh, yeah, I didn't know. I'm sorry. So I'm a little, I didn't expect
Yeah.
such
No,
story.
you're fine. That's
Okay. I just wanted to know how did you feel in the country where is war right now?
Um, I felt perfectly fine. Um, it's it's a numbers game. I know that sounds callous, maybe to put it that way, but if something happened, it happened. So, yeah,
So you accepted all the risks.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, brave, brave guy.
There's a fine line between bravery and stupidity.
But in some ways, we should accept our lives from this perspective. In some way, if we will afraid of everything, we will miss our life and all a lot of opportunities. Okay, Matt, tell me please, how did you reach out to Joe for help? How it happened?
So I met a girl on another website. We went on 7 dates. And there was some physical contact, but not really holding hands, not walking arm in arm. But my ex girlfriend that I had in between my wife dying and now was the same way, especially in her home country. So I didn't really, I guess, think about it too much, right? As far as being too much of a flag or anything like that. And I also never got a good chance to set up a good first kiss, right? So it was my last night that I was originally scheduled to be there, and she was getting ready to get in the cab, and I tried to give her just a quick peck on the lips, and she turned her cheek, and um, off she went. So I was just lost in my mind, I guess. Had a couple too many drinks, and got on Match Guarantee's website and was basically did the sign up and donated the extra to be able to talk to Joe directly and get his advice on what's going on and you know go that's where it ended up at, I guess. So ended
Tell
up
me please, how long did you had a connection with this lady before you came to Ukraine?
a month and a half. We've been
Month and a
talking.
half. Oh,
Yeah,
so you was quick enough in your decision to visit.
yeah.
The,
In fact, I had initially planned I was going to try and make it before Christmas, but she had family coming in, so couldn't do before Christmas. So
okay. Um, I can say that it's good decision. I mean, if you understand that you interested in someone and you have some connection, good communication, of course, you need to check. It's all about actions, and I all the time try to explain to guys that it's so important not to lose and waste time, months, and years and never try how it works in reality. And what were your impression in reality?
of her
Yes, about
or
your connection, your communication. Was it different?
no, it was. I mean, it was pretty well on par. We actually we talked so much at that point because that's one thing that I think you run into, especially with online and not meeting in person, is you talk so much. So once you get into person, it was honestly really nice to be able to talk and then just sit in silence in each other's presence, without having to speak, if
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And okay, so when she turned cheek towards lips instead lips, so you understood that something wrong, and you don't have this connection you expected for, right?
Well, and at the same time though, I it was as she's hopping in a cab. It's not the right place to do it. I know, but
Mm-hmm.
I just, where else was it going to happen? Because I'm leaving the next day. So,
Okay, and you try to contact Joe for some advice.
mhm.
And what did Joe give you?
He told me to get out and get phone numbers, basically, pick up random women on the street, um, for lack of a better way to put it.
Did it work? This advice?
I got 8 phone numbers. I had 4 or 5 Tinder matches, and I actually had a match on Bumble, which is the one that the woman has to message first. Believe it or not.
I never heard. Sorry.
That was the last thing I expected, to be honest with you. So, yeah,
Okay, okay. Did your feelings changed after you tried to be initiative and to change something?
towards her,
No, I mean your inside feelings.
about the girl that I went to meet, or
I
sorry.
mean, as I understood from your story,
Mm,
you had communication with the girl. You came to meet her, and something didn't work as you planned, right?
right,
So you didn't receive those level of connection, which is usually between couples when they try to jump into certain relations. And you understand that something went wrong, and by Joseph's advice, you go to Kiev Street to get somebody new.
right.
And did you have some feeling inside like you feel better because of this? Because I can imagine that if your plan like ruined, you can feel disappointed.
I felt awful about it,
Can
because
imagine.
Joe also told me not to message her, right,
Mhm.
and go from there. That this is the closest thing I've ever done to cheat in my life, and that's what it felt like. So I kind of felt like a piece of shit, I guess, for lack of better words. But I went ahead and did it anyway. And so yeah, I felt awful, if anything. I
Even
did. I got to pick me up, of course, by getting the numbers. But yeah,
did you met somebody interesting? Did you had some spark or something
so I met a scammer, um, and that
from
was
Tinder, right? Joseph
yeah,
tell.
that was the Tinder dates. So so I knew about the restaurant scam, right? Where you don't let them choose a restaurant. I think she corralled me into picking the restaurant she wanted, because um, I had named a restaurant, and she was like, "No, I want Sisha," which I had no clue what Sisha even was, so I had to Google it. And she goes, "What about here, here, or here?" And so I looked them up and was like, "Well, how about we go to this one," which was not one she'd listed. And so that's where we ended up going. But she, I'm pretty sure she was in on that one too. But at
Mm-hmm.
least it was only $250. So,
Mm-hmm.
and
I
then
tried
go ahead.
trying to imagine this situation right now. Like I wanted to advise to guys, like it can be a red flag when a girl suggests specific restaurant, like it can be a red flag. And at the same time, if to imagine the situation that you come to area you don't know anything about new places and she can know good
Mhm.
things, so just need to feel how she tried to insist on specific place, right?
Yeah,
So I think you can read on the face if she has some benefits from these places.
yeah. And So, but that night it didn't really necessarily feel like it. And like one thing I'd seen before is they'll swap out the menus and stuff. So I took pictures of menus every place I went just so they wouldn't try and jack the price up later. Um, but so anyway, everything went great. The next morning, she calls me. It's like, hey, we're gonna let's meet at the mall, and you can buy me something nice for our next date. So I heard it, but I'm still asleep. She
Run,
woke me
run.
up. Right. Well, so what I ended up doing was going to the mall with her because I was like, if it's $100, it's whatever, but still. So we go to the store and like the pairs of shoes are like 20,000 Hibernia, and so I was like, okay. So she went in the dressing room and came out half naked several times. So I got a little bit of a show out of it. And then she I stayed away from the cashier. Like I just stayed back, and they got everything bagged up and put away. And the cashier spoke English, and so I stay back. And finally, she looks at me and she kind of motions towards the register. I said, "What?" She goes, "You're buying." I said, wait, who said I was buying? She goes, well, that's what I said on the phone today, this morning whenever I called you. And I was like, well, how much is it? And 78,000 Hibernia. So it was 2 grand, a little over 2 grand. And I was like, I looked at her, I said, we haven't even kissed. I wouldn't do that in the United States. Why in the hell would I do it here? So the cashier starts laughing at her and then translates it to the rest of the store, and the entire store starts laughing at her, and she storms out. So that was probably the most fun I had.
Man, I feel right now like, oh my God, is it really exist in our country? I know that it is exist, unfortunately. I know, guys. But yeah, I'm a little shocked because, guys, genuine lady which seriously want to know a man and build relations, she never ever will ask at the beginning of relations like any questions, even like book me a taxi or something. She will not ask even such things. She originally Ukrainian girls, they are humble, and if they really want to jump into relations, they will try to show their best sides, to be humble, to be modest, and they will look at your initiative, how you will be initiative, creative, what will you offer, and she will accept and judge by your actions, but never she will try to ask anything like buy me something, especially what second date.
Before second dates, that's
Yeah, yeah. Before second date, I mean second time
yeah.
in your life you can see the lady without any. Yeah, it's a little crazy for me. And of course, it should be a red flag for all you guys when a lady texts you like maybe you can buy something nice to me. Never can it can never happen. My next question should be like, what are your impressions about Ukrainian ladies? But I'm afraid to ask now.
No, I
This
mean they were really nice. They were really really nice overall. That's other than the one. So
oh yeah. Okay. Did you met honest normal girls, not
I did.
scammers?
I went on one date with a normal girl that I met on the street, and it's dead cold over there right now, so it's kind of hard to tell much about them. And after we went and got coffee, and turns out she was a girl I can meet here. So why do the long distance Ukraine relationship if you know what I mean? She ended up having a child or two kids. You know, not bad looking, but not gorgeous. But you know, I can get that here.
Okay. Um, I forgot what I wanted to ask.
And then the second one, or the third, fourth girl was one that I matched with on Tinder. And I was like, she looks really familiar. Well, it turns out I talked to her a little bit on the other website. So we talked on Tinder and was like, I'm going to go ahead and book it through the other website just so you don't get in trouble, and kicked off the website for breaking rules and stuff. So that was the other one that I had two dates with.
Mhm.
So,
I remembered what I wanted to ask.
oh, go ahead.
It was difficult to get know ladies on the streets?
Uh, there weren't a whole lot of them because it was so cold.
Uh-huh.
So I actually, my main place that I went, I don't know the name of it. You probably do. Is the if you go to Main Street, Kyiv, there's that underground shopping center underneath the main street, and that's where I did most of it.
Oh, downtown, of course, a lot of people usually concentrated there. I don't
Mm.
know now these days, like with the war, how it happens. And of course, a lot of girls they escaped out of Ukraine, so maybe also less volume, right, of ladies
Excuse me. Yeah.
and cold, of course. But I mean, were they like a nice queens, or were they easygoing, friendly to you? How it happened?
What day of the week? Or
When you just try to pick up the lady on the street?
I mean it. There was several of them that was married. I got to where, so they're much better than Americans at, you know, the older ones want to look younger, the younger ones want to look older. So I got to where I would walk up and, do you speak English? Because I speak zero Ukrainian, or
Sure.
Russian. And do you speak English? And they'd answer yes or no. And then I'd, if I had any question on their age, I'd ask how old they were. And then uh, as long as it was like over 25, what's your number? I'm going to take you out to dinner. And I got a lot of no foreigners, because not everybody wants to date a foreigner. I understand that.
Mhm.
And then a lot of them that said, I have a boyfriend, I'm married,
Mhm.
but I mean, I ended up with 8 numbers, so that's not too bad for a day's work.
Yes, definitely, definitely, right. I just want to like show to guys, is it difficult to get know just a stranger on the street in Ukraine when you are a foreigner? So we are realistic, and of course some girls can stay in relations, especially married. Some cannot speak English, and that can be a reason why she don't want to know a foreigner. So it's realistic reasons, and I respect these reasons when a girl can.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, some viewers sometimes leave comments like, "All Ukrainian ladies such a nice queens and think too much about themselves."
And that's one thing that's going on too, is with the war and all the support that America's providing Ukraine right now, they love Americans in general. And American passport is almost a get out of jail free card, like if you're late on curfew or something like that too. So just a FYI.
I didn't think about this from this perspective. Like, I don't think that we have some changes about our intentions to American people before war and after. Of course, I think some people, especially who follow the news, of course, they have maybe more warm feelings because of this help, and it's understandable. But I don't think that we have some changes in our behavior and like how we accept foreigners. This is my opinion. Not sure
And
about everyone.
I had a bunch of people just come up randomly because I would wear a hoodie with an American flag on it, and just, you're an American. Why are you here? Uh, and thank you. And I'm like, I haven't done anything. They were like, you pay taxes. Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
true.
so, you know, I got to where I just quit.
Matt, important,
Yeah,
yes, you pay taxes, and your country, because of your taxes,
yeah,
have opportunity to help to our
yeah.
country a lot, to support. And as well, important that you, I mean, American people not making strikes like, oh, we are against, you spend our, like to government, right? You spend our
Oh, and I
taxes
never said
on
any.
this
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, and you support as well. I can see a lot of comments like people just support on some human level, like Slava Ukraini, or we supporting you or something. And that is important. Of course, Ukrainian people accept all these like comments and support with warmth, and with like grateful for such things. Okay, so after Joseph's advice, you tried your own experience. Did you change your feelings to a lady you came to visit originally?
So I actually, if anything, it how do I want to put this? I realized with her how I don't want to say humble. So she doesn't wear a whole lot of makeup, which was one of the things that attracted me to her anyway. Like she's not painted makeup, right? She wears very little, if any. And there would be several times that I would suggest restaurants that were not cheap, but like not expensive either. And
Mm-hmm.
she'd be like, "That's a that's too expensive. Let's go. This is similar and way cheaper. There's no need to spend that much money."
Yeah.
And that's been a constant thing. Yeah. So if anything, I kind of appreciated that portion a lot more after the other ones, if that makes any sense.
I'm smiling to the chat because this guy, he currently stay in Kyiv and helping like a volunteer. Hello, Thomas. And he US guy. I will, guys, I will put all your comments with pleasure a little bit later after our story with Matt. Okay, did she change her behavior towards you after you
Yeah.
lost her, after you kept silent?
So after I kept silent, and by keeping silent, she would write me good morning, and I would respond with just good morning. That's it, or good night, good night.
So just you
Yeah,
responded back, being polite.
exactly. And like there was missile strikes while I was there, so you'd hear explosions, and she would text me. And there was one time because I knew it had happened close to where she lived that I texted her, "Are you okay? Are you
Mm,
safe?" And besides that, though, that was
good
it.
question. Good question, Matt.
That's
It shows that you care, and it's important. Such questions, like, of course, she will not accept a man serious if he thinking only about some dates or some benefits, some time, romantic time spending, but don't care about her safety. Of course, it's important to ask, even if you feel maybe not the best connection right now. You have not the best moment. It was polite and respect, and she responded, right?
yes, yes. She responded with, "Yes, I'm fine. Are you safe?" But then after, I guess it was my last night in Kyiv. So after a week of this, she's finally like, "Why don't you message me anymore? I miss talking to you." Um, and I responded with, "I didn't think you wanted to talk to me." So,
And what she said.
and she said, "No, I really missed you. And I want to, I miss," because so whenever my wife died, I had a hard time processing my feelings into words. So I started writing poetry. So I would occasionally, like once a week, write her a poem. I don't know, probably not the manliest thing to do, but it is what it is. And she actually that day was like, "Why haven't you written me a poem the last week?" Because I didn't think you wanted anything to do with me. So
So she used to your poems.
yeah.
Okay, but did you have this sincere talk with her? Like, okay, you decided by yourself that you don't feel from her some feedback on
And
that level.
that's
You
and we
accept. expected.
Yeah.
And she admitted that you like ghosted her or changed your behavior, and she was curious about that. And actually, this is a good sign, I think, from my lady's side. Not every lady will ask like, "Where are you? Everything is okay?" Like if she asking, it means that maybe she care. So did you have some conversation with her? What happened and why she was so cold? Didn't try to develop your relations personally when you had these opportunities on the dates?
Yeah, and that was where, we had that conversation. And I can't remember exactly how I worded it, but I had somehow said something along the lines of, did I waste my time, or something about wasting my time and effort to come to Ukraine to meet her. And she got pissed. And she was like, I hope you didn't. Because if so, then I wasted all that time being in the cold, freezing my butt off, walking with you, enjoying your presence, and all this. So yeah, and that was, and then we went back to talking like normal. So here we are,
Like normal, you mean so you continue your
like
relations?
like before. Yeah. And so at this point,
But okay, why
go ahead.
you change your mind and leave earlier?
Why did I change my mind and leave
Yeah,
earlier?
you planned to stay in
Oh,
Ukraine during 3 weeks, but you
so
came back home earlier.
so it was a combination of two things, because on the way to Ukraine, it was 18 hours worth of flights and layovers. I was in a hotel room for 10 hours, 8 hours, somewhere in there, and then 13 and a half hours on a bus. And it was just awful. I'm not 20 anymore. Can't do that every day. Well, so the return trip, I was dreading even more because it was going to be 15 or so hours on a bus. I'm stupid, so I booked only one night in a hotel room. So it was going to be 6 hours in a hotel room and then 20 hours worth of flights. So I was dreading the trip home anyway. And then with everything happening the way it had up until that point, I was just entirely mind boggled and was like, screw it, cancel my trip and stay another week and go from there. So, yeah.
What do you feel now about this lady? If you stay in communication with her,
I feel
do you think it
really,
still can work?
what's that?
Think? Do you still think it can work?
I really do. So whenever I met her, and we did several video chats before, I never once asked her to meet me in Warsaw or any place else. I was like, I'm coming to Kyiv. And so we got on a video chat. I can't remember how it came up, but I had said something. She asked if I was nervous. It was like a week before I was coming to Kyiv. And I said something along the lines of, you know, what kind of man would I be to not face for 2 weeks what you've been through for the last, 10 months? And she had responded with, yes, I will never leave. I will never meet a man in another country unless I'm really serious and I think it's, you know, something that's going to last. And that night, that last night I was there, she was talking about when are we meeting in Europe.
Hmm.
So I don't know.
I'm a little confused with all this story because I didn't know all the details. Guys,
Yeah,
I also know all the information right now from it. So I'm a little like, what happening? You were there, you had this opportunity, but it didn't work. But you still keep in contact. And how do you see like your future opportunities? Do you still have a wish
I
with this?
I do, and I think so. That's the other thing. So with dating in Ukraine right now, there's a curfew. So at 11 o'clock, you got to be home.
Yeah.
So that cuts out a lot of potential dating time, realistically.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the other thing is she works as a personal trainer. So her workday starts at 7, 8 a.m. and doesn't
Mhm.
end until 7, 8 p.m. So a lot of our dates is in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
And she's got to go back to work. Um, so I just, between that and everything else, they're just, I don't think we got proper time to where we could really relax because she's keeping an eye on the clock because she's got a 45-minute, cab ride to go back to work,
Mhm.
stuff like that. And so I really think that I think I'll know a lot more if we get the chance to meet someplace else to where she has no work, to where it's not a time constraint. And yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely can be a reason why you didn't fall into, I don't know, like very familiar, become very familiar at the very beginning. If she work until 7, plus she needs some time to get to some spot to
right.
meet, and then she need to go home also to count this time in Kyiv, depends on location, how far she lives from center to get home before this
Yeah, because she
before
lives
7 p.m.
on the left bank that's on the right hand side that I have no clue how that works.
Um, depend on time, of course. In the evening, it can be okay, but at the same time, it's logistic. It's some
Yeah,
time, and in Kiev, it can take like 1 hour or something.
yes,
Uh, one side. So I understand that it can brought also some not misunderstandings, but you melt not so fast to each other, right?
right.
Who knows? But anything, I believe in this first chemistry. If it happens, like it happens quite fast, people understand that they like addicted to spend as much time as they can when they have these opportunities. But at the same time, maybe can understand, maybe we can understand the reason
And
or
I think she's just really, really, really shy. Because, like, so I'm very hot natured. In fact, walking around Kiev whenever it's like -5 and 6, I was just in a hoodie and blue jeans, where everybody else is like bundled up in parka. The and one of our walks, she is just like, I'm cold, it's time to go home, and I was like, okay, I understand. Um, how cold are you? And she goes, how are you not cold? And I was like, no, I'm perfectly fine. And so I was like, here, give me your hands. So I actually sandwiched her hands in between mine to
uh-huh.
warm her hands up, and then warmed up her cheeks with my hands. And so as I was warming her hands up, I actually kissed the back of her hand, and she turned beet red and looked around at other people and then looked down. So I think she acts really shy around about PDA, I guess. So
Difficult to say when you can't see the person. Of course, your impressions should be. You should have this gut
right,
feeling about your impressions. I will speak about myself. When I outside is cold, some negative temperature, or even not negative, like under 10 Celsius, and I go outside 5 minutes outside at cold weather, and I'm staying like, please get me somewhere inside. I really can't stay on the cold outside, and yeah, it also can be an issue, but. If she was shy, even when you took her hands to warm them, and she looked at people, I don't know. As for me, it's a little bit sign like maybe she didn't felt inside this chemistry like she ready for some physical contact. I don't mean something, like intimacy or something. Anyway, any physical contact, even to touch hand or to kiss in the cheek or in the lips, you can let only to a man when you have some feelings. Like usually it shows that she don't have these feelings to a man, but then a question why she message you like why you ghosted.
right.
If
Butters. Shh.
usually if the lady don't like a man and don't like his physical contact, don't want his physical contact. Like to get into serious relations like between man and a woman, usually a woman will feel relief when men stop chasing, but she didn't feel relief and she was curious like why. Let's try again this communication. So for me this is the question. Matt, how are your feelings and how we can help you with the match guarantee with this situation?
I think at this point, like that night, whenever I extended my trip, I was ready to pay out and join up and give Joe the money to do it. But at this point, with the way everything's gone, give me
It's
just a
okay.
second. I'm
Okay.
Butters.
Little child.
Oh, he's spoiled.
Should be.
But yeah, so that night I was ready to just go ahead and give my money and all that stuff. But with the way things have progressed here, um, I feel like I feel like it would be the wrong thing to do to stop, I guess, because I'm planning on meeting her in Europe,
Hmm.
and then we'll see how that next meeting goes. I think is kind of where I'm at.
So your next plan is to visit this lady in Europe one more time
Yes,
soon.
ma'am.
You're a very brave guy.
Why is that?
Mm, for me, it's difficult to imagine like these feelings when you try once and it didn't work. At least it didn't work that way you expected it should work. And anyway, you didn't give up, and even you try to give a chance to this lady again. This is a little like curious and surprise for me, but I think I can understand. And maybe she had some reasons. I don't want to have any influence on your feelings. Like I don't know this lady. It's a
Right.
Yeah, it's a big question for me. I have no idea. Is she a good lady? Is she had some uh, bad ideas, bad intentions, or for some benefits from you? I don't know this. I don't want you to be cheated or something. So of course
Right.
I wish you the best. So it's difficult to judge, and that is why I don't want to have any influence on your feelings, especially when I don't know the
I'm
lady.
hoping she's planning on that long term scam, which is marriage, and then whenever I die, she gets my stuff. That's my goal.
Okay, come on.
But I mean, so in all honesty, so the girl I went on 2 dates with, my last 2 days there, is the same age. They're both 26. I'm 37. So if they was an American woman, I would never date a 26-year-old. But Ukrainians seem to
It's
be
okay.
much more mature, right?
For Ukraine,
Um,
11 years, it's quite okay. Can be.
um, but so I actually had both of them that same night messaging me about meeting again in Europe. Um, but the one I'd only been on 2 dates with and don't know as well, and I just didn't have the warm and fuzzies about her. I don't know.
Now, did you feel from any lady like she was sincerely interested in you?
The one that I went on I, how do I want to put this? I feel like the first one that I initially went to meet is, but just like, and there was more physical contact. I mean, like, we'd be eating supper, and I'd put my hand on hers or whatever, and it's not like she would pull it away, but we never held hands walking down the street. Um,
If you had just two dates, it can be like
yeah,
a girl. She need a little to use to you. I don't think that I could be able, maybe if you have great spark chemistry connection, very fast on the first time. So I can imagine this, but sometimes ladies, Ukrainian ladies, they are modest. They need some time to get to understand your
yeah,
intentions. Are you seriously want to start relations, or or they also scared about sex tourists? Don't want to
right,
be an easy prey, and to look at you more attentive. So maybe two dates, it's not really enough to walk on the street hand in hand. Depend on how many time you spend already together, how many hours, and in which quality, of course. If you
right.
had great sincere conversation and you are on the same page and your eyes burning, can be.
Yeah. So I actually, I came home and I took a week, I guess about a week, because I haven't been home a week yet. Just kind of mulling it over between the one I went to meet and the one that I met at the end. And so it was actually just yesterday, night before last, that I told the other one I don't want to meet her. Yeah. So
Okay, Matt, did you understand when lady is not sincere when she wants something from you, shopping and all this thing? Did you
yeah,
understand this fast? You
yes.
can feel this, right?
Oh yeah. And that's one thing that makes me feel good about the one that I went to meet. There's only been two things she's ever asked for. And the one was before we met. I was like, is there anything that because of the war you can't get in Ukraine right now? And she goes, well, I don't know if it's because of the war or if they just stopped importing it, but there's this face cleanser because she doesn't wear makeup. So there's this specific face cleanser. And anyway, she was like, if you can find that, that would be amazing. But if you can, it's not a big deal. So I didn't have time to find it before I went, but I found it after I got home. And so I've actually got a Valentine's Day box that I'm sending her, just random candy and stuff.
Mhm.
Um, excuse me, so sorry.
Bless you.
Um, but so the only other thing she's requested is so whenever I went there, I took a tourniquet and some hot hands, and I'd actually packed MREs, but Delta made me take them out. Um, but I gave her my tourniquet, just because that might be something that could save somebody's life one day, right? So after I got home, I'm getting ready to send this box, and she goes, I ask again, is there anything else you could think of that you need or might be useful that I can send? And she asked for a trauma kit, like a military first aid kit,
Hmm.
$100. And I was like, is it going to be okay that it's in English? And she goes, yeah, it'll be fine. I said, it's not, you wouldn't be better off to buy one there. She goes, well, the ones made in the US are higher quality. And, um, I might be able to save somebody's life or it might save me. I mean, that's not selfish at all. Why would I not buy and send that for her? That's so.
Yeah. Okay, Matt, so what is your next plan
My next plan,
after this story?
uh, I guess is going to be meet in Europe someplace.
Okay, brave guy again. Brave guy.
Uh, I did have a list of things just for guys who might be watching that with the war going on. Three things I thought of, and I gave to all four women that I met and went on dates with. That's practical, useful, and appreciated more than flowers even right now.
So curious to hear.
You like this unscented candles because unfortunately with the rolling blackouts, candles are just a
Yeah,
necessity right now, right?
great, great tip. And girls like candles, of course.
Um, rechargeable flashlight because same thing, and power banks. For us, they're only like 40 bucks isn't jack, but over there it's more than here. So the just having power is appreciated. So a little bit more at least.
Yeah, great, great conclusions. Yeah, it's such things when a lady receive such things, she can feel care that you really care and want to take care about her and improve her life conditions. So I can, like lady, improve that such things we will accept like a good treatment because you want to make something good for her to improve her life in some way. So yeah, can be great. But of course, if you have already some communication, some pre feelings maybe to a person,
Right.
so yeah, and understand the needs. So it was your advice. Matt, did you change anything if you could repeat this trip from the beginning?
Yeah, there's a couple things. I would have I would have made sure that we didn't just go out to eat and go on walks. Go someplace else. But at the same time, she wanted to do that. The It's probably the biggest one, really, in all honesty. But so she's not originally from Kyiv either. That is a regret. So as an American, you hear all these stories about the war and everything happening in Ukraine, but they're just little tags that don't really register. She is originally from a small town near Mariupol.
Oh, from Mariupol. It was terrible place, guys. It was
Um,
horrible life experience for people because everything what happened there just out of we
yeah,
can imagine.
and so we were walking past on the main street. They've got the Free Mariupol Defenders, the big sign with the cages, and I asked her about it, and she actually, I wish I'd have never asked, but I didn't know.
Right?
So
That right?
with her being from near Mariupol, so she has high school classmates that are there, and so she actually broke down crying. Yeah. So I held her while she cried on my shoulder, and I wish I'd have never asked, but I I didn't know that she was from there. I guess I should say. Um,
Guys, it's absolutely normal reaction because you can't maybe imagine, not all of you, how it was to have this personal experience to escape from some dangerous areas, to have real war in your country. I had absolutely the same occasion, and I was on the date, and it was just a usual question like, how did you escape and with whom? And during my story, I just become cry, and I didn't expect this. It was first time in my life such story, but yeah, it's difficult to control your emotions, so it's absolutely normal reaction for any lady because
yeah,
we are not so strong as you guys.
she showed me pictures of where she slept in the dirt for a month with just a small blanket. That had happened before, but yeah, just don't bring it up. Let them do it. Don't ask. They'll tell you when they want to.
Yeah. Okay. I will go to the chat. Guys leave a lot of comments and questions to you. We have 10 minutes of our live stream. I will try to be like brief and to pick the most interesting comments. Hello, Juan Antonio, what? Guys, glad to see you all. Thank you for watching us and try also to understand Matt's experience. Um, Question from Vatvat, Matt. How did you cope with the power outages and
So
sirens during your 3 weeks?
I stayed. I'm not going to say the name of the hotel just because I don't know how much the American government would appreciate it. I stayed in the hotel that all the embassy workers, American embassy workers, stayed in. So I
Mhm.
didn't have that.
Oh,
It was very
and
pricey, but
outside when you were in the restaurants or supermarkets, did it bothering you?
not having cell phone service to find an Uber was probably the biggest issue. But yeah, there was a couple restaurants I went to that didn't have power, and we went someplace else that it wasn't.
Mm-hmm. Um, okay. This one, Jason. Hello. Dating apps are full of scammers, girls trying to lure you to a restaurant or club where they rack up and bill of thousands of ask you for money. Scammers are always nice. Wow. Uh, Rebel, hello to you. You are saying that most Ukraine ladies act like a Western woman, similar to the host of this show and the blondie hair woman on this channel. Matt, can you maybe have opinion about
I,
this
I'll
comment?
t- I'll tell you. So the one girl that I picked up on the street, right, was 35, so not so much. The one that was the scammer, we're not even going to talk about because why bother? The other two were 26. The one that I went to meet threw me way off because she actually offered to go Dutch on our first date.
And
And
by the way, also it can be appropriate question like in Ukraine, girl can offer this just to be in polite because she don't know your intentions and is it okay for you? She will expect that you will pay the
mhm,
whole bill, but I will ask also. I will ask as well because I don't know your intentions yet. So it's okay. It's a good question from a
yeah.
lady. If she asks
And
this,
that's even being here, that's not something I would do. So why would I do it there? So
every Ukrainian lady will expect that you will pay the bill, but she will
yeah.
ask just to be in polite because she don't know your feelings, your intentions to her. Is it okay to you? Because we also understand that you foreign guys have other culture, and for your culture, that is okay to pay Dutch. Um, Cox Johnson, hello. Too many tourists to go to the same places where local Ukrainian women expect them to be picked up, like Ocean Plaza Mall or Maiden, Maidan. I get in the train and heard a few stops towards the suburbs. I don't think that there are too much ladies to pick up, maybe. Yeah, Mas Thomas, nice guy from US who lives in Kyiv. Hmm. Tommy boy, hello. I don't mind paying my taxes knowing that I also helps Ukraine. My work also contributes to defense. Tommy, you are absolutely a hero for me because you support um, in many ways and many things like Ukraine dating channel and Ukraine in general. Very kind man, supportive.
And there's another one for you, Jana.
Yeah.
Is it Vita? I think was my initial like that first day whenever I was gonna join right after talking to Joe.
Hmm.
She told me that I need to shave my beard um, and not bring up guns. That's another one. I'm a gun nut, and in all my dates, it was actually I think part of it has to do with the war going on. It was considered a good thing that I had guns. And in fact, the girl I went to meet, I took her to a shooting range in Kyiv and taught her how to shoot while I was there. I'm a shooting sports instructor. So, yeah, just figure I'd throw that out there too.
Okay, are you comfortable with your beard? Do you like it?
So I wear a beard probably half a year. The big thing is if I
Do
shave,
you
I've got a
enjoy to have a beard?
yeah. But if
Okay.
I shave, I've got a sandpaper face. So like within 5 hours, it's just pure sandpaper, which
Mm-hmm.
most women don't care for. If
Matt,
you know,
I don't think that like it's specifically some girls like beards, some girls don't like. So if you feel okay with that, just be yourself. A lot of girls like men with a beard. It looks manly at least. And yeah, you don't need to shave every day and like less problems to your skin also. So I think it's not a problem at all. As for me, you're looking good with your beard. And about what's second about the guns, also specifically, so guns, if you are not crazy addicted and speaking about all this stuff all the time, especially with the lady, it
mm,
also like a manly hobby, and shooting range can be interesting date if you feel that her reaction is sincere, she is okay to that, so why not? It's cute, can be.
yeah, she actually wanted to go there. So yeah, I
Yeah,
was more than
I
happy.
think a lot
That's
of girls can support this
yeah.
offer. This my opinion. So can be nice. Um, Mas Thomas, no, it's very romantic. Don't stop. She'll like it if she feels good with you. It was this comment was at the moment when you told that she turned her cheek for kiss. I think that moment was. And what helped, like, I think you missed the start. The woman he's taken about refuses to kiss him after 7 dates and didn't want to hold hands. As for me, it's quite a lot, 7 dates, even if you had just 2 hours. Like, as for me, as for a lady, you or feel this connection or you don't feel. And second and third date should be like warmer and warmer, closer and closer. And it's absolutely appropriate to have kiss on second or third date if you really have this interest to a man. So for me, it's still a question how sincere she is, or is she so shy? Because I can say that Ukrainian ladies like a monks or something in Ukraine.
Right.
Hmm. Oh no, after 7 dates, you need to be confident and real man. No doubts. No self-doubt. Yes, I can see. Oh, my comments show so slow. Uh-huh. Then she is not interested, period. Not genuine, trust me. This guy currently staying in Kyiv, I don't know, like maybe more for than a year. So he already familiar with the Ukrainian girls, has experience, right, with our culture. So I'd listened. What? No holding hands and not accepting your kiss, but missing you sounds like she missed the attention you were giving her. As for the other part about wasting her time, gaslighting, I I can agree with this comment. Like I also like have doubts. I already told my opinion that even if she's shy, okay, she can be a little slower than usual, not so
Right.
fast, not on the first, second date, but seven is met. It's obviously too enough, too much to understand do you like a person or not, and. Of course, I don't want to spoil your feelings and your intentions to this lady, and at the same time, I don't want you to make other uh, like try to go to Europe with like bad
No, I
experience.
know what you're
Second,
saying.
I
Yeah.
don't
No,
want
I
you
understand.
that.
I just yeah.
Anyway, need to be like adult and wise in these decisions. If you're not satisfied with somebody's behavior, your expectations not satisfied. So sometimes we can be a leadership of these relations. Matt, after what happened, sounds like she wants to trip to another country and wants you to pay for it. um, this is what suspicious. And Thomas agree with this point of view. Can be, guys, can be difficult to
Well,
judge.
I mean, it depends on, and that's part of it. It depends on where she wants to go, as to how expensive it is. Like if she just wants to go to Warsaw, right? That's not hardly any cost at all.
For me, is a
Versus,
question, logic question. Why she didn't use this opportunity when you were next to her in Kyiv?
well, and we discussed it while we were there. Like, so we discussed it some, but I don't know.
Did she explain to you, and you understand this? What
Explain to
you
me
She
about,
explained to you about what happened in Kiev and why it was not as you expected, maybe, or what were her plans for this meeting? Did you discuss
yeah, we
this?
discussed it. Yeah.
You were satisfied with your answer? You
Yeah.
understood her way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because she basically told me the same thing that Joe had told me and that you said, and that I kind of already knew is I just didn't have the right, there wasn't a right moment where we were, yeah, alone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, but I can see the solution if she could be interesting. For example, you could spend maybe bad tips, I don't know, but I can see this like a solution which could be in this situation, because of after 11 p.m. you are not allowed outside, and your time is limited. You could stay in the hotel at lobby bar or somewhere, and also she could stay at the hotel, not at your room. Of course, you could book separate room, and just for this opportunity to stay more time together, to speak together during these hours until like 1 a.m. or something. But you have this opportunity, you stay in warm and good conditions, and you have this time to get know each other, not to rush all the time watching on at your clocks. Something like this could be, but it can happen only when people have this connection, right? Hmm. What? If she wanted to meet up, she could have done so during your stay there. Now that you went back, she suddenly wants to meet up in another country. Not buying it. Guys, warning you. Guys, advices. Mas Thomas asking, where is she a trainer? I was at Sport Live this afternoon. I'll test her comment. Oh, test drive, guys. Looks dangerous. And find out for you if she's serious. Wow.
I'm good.
Decision all yours, Matt. Okay, interesting to know your opinion. What do you think as a foreign guy? What four types of ladies we have in Ukraine? And I think I can even agree from my perspective. Mm. But what if she had a boyfriend and did those things because of shame of being caught with another man? Or better not even to have such suspicious in the head, because I hope definitely not this story. I really hope so.
I know she was engaged at one point, but she said that's, because we had discussions about it.
Hmm.
But I mean,
But
she could
me,
be, that's,
important thing I want to ask you, if you met her on some agency, on some site, dating
mhm.
site, When you start your communication, did she leave that site?
She told me yesterday
Hmm.
that um, she's going because she has to actually go to the office to leave the site, and she's planning on taking her website or page down next
Just now,
week.
right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Jacob, hello. Uh, Ian, hello, guys. Usual viewers. Yeah, I can understand your issue. You're not the first who is complaining about notifications. Um, but what Ukrainian women are more reserved and come off as cold until you met them. They are very warm and welcoming to people they know. Yeah, true. Do you agree, Matt?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Thank you. Until you meet them, until you get to know them. Yeah, absolutely agree. Even Ukrainian, like some people who then became my friends, for example, some colleagues from work, their first impression about me was like I'm a bitch. And then I'm serious. They really said me this directly. And then when I get know people and they then said like, "Oh my God, I thought you're such a bitch, but you are so friendly. You are so cutie and so on." I don't know. Have such appearance. I'm sorry. Like behavior really can be when you not in a somewhere outside with friends, not in a company, like when you are at work or something, you are serious and you just concentrate on certain things you need to do, and you can be polite but you can be like serious and strict, and people can miss this with some other qualities. But definitely when people get know each other, they become show their true colors and become who they are and as they are. Matt, which restaurant did you go?
Which time?
Which time? I have no idea
So
when this comment appeared. So
with the scammer girl is probably my guess. I don't know. And it
you can
was
mention just everything you remember, which you did visit.
give me a second. Most of them I can't pronounce.
Rebel, if you are such don't like me, so just don't visit. Yeah, should avoid, I think. I'm
So I
not.
went to True Burger Bar, was really good. Um, and then there was Avalon was where the scammer took me.
Some
And
very famous fancy restaurants, right?
yes, let's see. We went to the restaurant at the Opera Hotel because that was the night there was no power. And then there's a Chinese restaurant there, like a couple blocks from the Opera Hotel. Um, went to Pasta Sada, I think is the name of it, next to the park. They're kind of close to the hotel that I stayed in. I can't remember all of them, but yeah, I went several different places. I went to the French restaurant next to the Golden Gate and ate snails for the first time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm searching for interesting comments. Not everything I will put. Guys also talk between themselves. Mm-hmm. Mas Thomas, Paul's friend called me, and there is a rumor rockets and shelling will start at midnight and major offensive at 4. Jana, I hope it's not true tonight, but we are ready. Oh my God. Oh, Thomas. I'm really worried about these situations, and from time to time we have these bad warnings, bad news, and nobody knows what we should believe, what we shouldn't, or they just want to scare us. Anyway, I really hope that you will stay in safe, and God bless you. What I can say, appear more often at our channel, please, and message like I'm okay. Yeah. Mm. Cox Johnson, but dating app scammers usually aren't patient enough to hang around for 7 dates. They usually try taking you to a restaurant on a date number one.
And that was part of my thing is she whenever I would pick more expensive restaurants, she would always say that's too expensive, let's go to this cheaper one.
She
So
told that.
yeah,
Good girl.
yeah, that's part
Guys,
of what makes me feel better about it. It's not
yeah.
like, because I
Guys,
wanted to take her to Catch, which is a really nice, seafood
yeah.
restaurant. And she was like, that's too expensive. We don't need to go there. I don't need that expensive of food, you know.
Guys, this is a really, really good sign when a lady cares about your expenses. Genuine lady, she don't want you to make extra expenses. She will offer something like average, maybe. So she will not try to offer something like bad quality, cheap place. But also, she doesn't want any fancy place when you pay the same dish double price. So she will care about how many you will spend, even when she understands that your money in Ukraine it's not so expensive for you, but Kyiv can be expensive also for foreigners, and you can spend your time in different quality in different places. So good lady will also advise you how you can save some money, not get extra expenses. Shave beard and not bring up guns. I think it's not an advice. I think Jacob just repeat. Is it real?
Yeah.
Wow. Um, Cox, I agree with you that there aren't as many ladies to pick up a few stops out of the center. However, there is at least no scammers. Maybe the scammer live currently at that spot. How do you know? Guys, I just try to you to understand that you just need to feel all these red flags from women when they like not natural behavior from the beginning, when they are not humble, when they offer you these fancy restaurants and try to be initiative in this route where to spend time, when they offer to buy something. This is red flags. Just run from such ladies from the beginning. Tommy met my kind of guy. Facial hair and guns safely. However, there is hardly any tourists running around Ukraine right now. Most of the scammers probably left and went to Poland to run Tinder scams there. Have no idea, guys. I spoke to one lady I know from Kyiv, and she told that you can't imagine, but there are a lot of foreigners on the Kyiv street right now, and she can understand who are journalists from them and who are just simple visitors like Matt. And she was surprised, like, guys, you're so brave. Why visit now? But life is go on. I agree. And our military, our ZSU, with your help, also try to protect and do everything. Hello, Delroy. Tsar, you are a better man than me, bro. Not kissing me within first 3 dates in unacceptable for me. I would have ended relationship after third date. Good luck. But I think need to feel the situation and to be flexible. But I can agree with this guy. I think that the third date should be if you are not shy guy. For shy guys, it can be also much not so fast. But if you are not a shy guy, you should be an initiator, and also you need to feel is the lady is ready. If she's not ready, you should have a reason why she's not ready. And
And it was like I said, I'm not a shy guy. It was just there was
mhm,
not a opportunity that really came up that was appropriate to me. I don't know.
mhm. Okay, but opportunities we can create somewhere on the street and after restaurant, somewhere even near the entrance, anywhere
Yeah,
next to the taxi. Why not opportunity?
I don't know.
I think you mean that you just felt that she's not ready. That is why you didn't have opportunity. So that should be a sign for you
No.
why she is not ready yet, and you need to have this gut feeling uh, inside you to understand proper moment. Vincent Arlanda, hi Matt. Where in Kyiv did you conduct your street pickup? Inside a busy mall
And it
someplace?
was that underground, underneath Main Street, whatever that shopping complex there is.
Cox, seeing that she's from Mariupol, I would have probably given her a bit more time than usual. But after 3 days, I would be ready to move on if she didn't even hold hands. Yeah, but Mariupol was quiet months ago, right? So she already had this time to recover maybe after this. Not
Well, and she's lived in Kyiv for 4 or 5 years already.
so she
But
was not at Mariupol when it.
right, right. She was in Kyiv whenever it happened. So,
Jacob, I think not kissing or holding hands at least one after the second date means that the lady isn't interested.
and we would sit at the table, but or hands on top of each other or whatever, but not
Oh, so
walking
it
down the street.
it
Yeah,
counts. It counts.
but it
Yes.
wasn't. It wasn't like we was sitting at the table doing this. It was basically hand on top, vice versa.
But it's okay because you're
Yeah,
staying in a social place. Of course, you need to be polite and not
right.
to like share a lot of like
Yeah,
some
and she
touches.
would she would put her hand on top of mine as well. So it wasn't no contact, right? It was just yeah.
You're confusing me. I have no idea what
I'm
what she's
confused.
feeling.
That's the reason I got with Joe.
Mhm. Delroy, next question. Does the war that is going on between the two countries stop visitors from come to Ukraine, date, and get a wife? I don't think so. Visitors from come to Ukraine. No, but borders are open. Sky is closed for understandable reasons. So I don't think that life didn't stop, guys, and people want to live and want to feel and want to find their soulmates and get married. Mhm. Yeah, exactly. No any Matt, share please your experience. No any problems to cross the border. No any questions to you like why you visit
Not until
Ukraine.
I tried to leave Poland.
Um, I'm trying to get almost the end of the chat, so we will finish soon. Uh, Cox, at the same time, I would be very clear about my intentions and that I am an affectionate person, and kissing, holding hands is something I need with the lady that I'm dating. Yeah, I can understand. And guys, normally this should be right in relations. What are the signs like to spend time together, like with a friend? Of course, it's important, yeah, to share these like intimate moments, like some physical touches, holding hands, cuddlings, um, so even in public places. And Matt, the last day you meet her, have you asked her if she interested to move further in relationships such as marriage?
Not specifically, no. I mean, that's stuff that we had discussed previously, though. But as far as while I was there, no, I guess not. The closest to that was we had discussed meeting in Warsaw. So
Hmm. I think I understand to what comment this message. Thank you. Um, and Matt, I think ask serious questions to her will allow you to see the future and not holding you back. Good advice, Matt. I think you should clarify everything directly with the lady, just straightforward. Just ask her proper questions. I think it should work. And if she will not ready, I think she will not promise, right?
right,
She seems to me like a good girl, but should be a reason why she was so shy. It's a little. How old is she?
26.
26. So she is not a very young girl who never had experience with men, right? So it's a little question.
Well, and that's my ex that I dated in between my wife passing and now. Um, she would like here. PDA was just entirely out of the question. Now we would go on vacation and she was fine with it because she knew she'd never see those people again. So like holding hands and stuff like that with her at home was fine. But if we go to a restaurant or anything, she wouldn't even do that. So that's kind of why I'm up in the air on,
Yeah, every
yeah.
person is very individual. I understand. So for some people, it's really not appropriate to kiss on public, and
Mhm.
it's like rules of politeness. So can people can kiss, people can avoid this and leave this for some maybe more private atmosphere, which can be absolutely good. But to hold in hands or to take each other hand, absolutely normal. And this is like indicator of a real couple. Never let a Ukrainian lady take you somewhere. You must take the lead and always be the one who makes the plans. Guys, yeah, it's true, but at the same time, when you are a foreigner and she is a person who used to live there and know all the places, she can advise you, but she can like just tell some places to you and you can decide which you will visit. You can decide this together. Like she can have good intentions to advise you something. Or if you experienced traveler and you can book some good place and take care about this, of course, definitely you should do this. And girls like that. But what, Matt, in regards to street pickup, what advice would you give to men
Wait
that?
till it's warmer.
Yes, also about Ukrainian mentality. What info tips would you give?
I can barely read a American woman's mind, yet alone a Ukrainian woman. So I got nothing. Listen to her, or I guess it's that away. Yeah, there.
Thank you. I'm really try, guys, at Ukraine dating. We really try to show like how we have everyday streams. What else can show you during 5 months? we speak and talk to you every day with any picky, tricky questions. We like in trying to be open books for you and to explain you, and you can judge, you can accept and understand what to expect from Ukrainian ladies. Define appropriate opportunity, please. Uh,
Someplace that wasn't like with knowing how shy she was on everything. Like we were never in a restaurant with just the two of us, or like to where there weren't other people around. Um, and on the street, there's constantly people. So that's yeah. I was trying to find a time and place to where it was just the two of us, so she wouldn't be freaked out by PDA. It's the best I can
okay.
describe it.
Okay, move on, dude. Move on from Paul. Hello, Paul. Oh, what happened? I lose the comment. 1 second. Let's give Tommy. I would give a week's pay to see that girl storm out of that store.
It was it was worth every penny of that dinner.
You should ask her, right? If
uh,
she is single. Cox, I'm under the assumption that he has already moved on. However, I think we are just asking questions so he doesn't have this happen again with next lady. But wait until it's warmer. But if it's cold, then they can't run away so fast. So
there's
you can.
also less of them out though. So
Yeah, and I think when it's warmer, more girls walking outside because, as I told, more than 5 minutes outside when it's cold, I will not go out. I'm staying all my winter almost at home as much time as possible. I think most guys try to read a girl's mind instead of paying more attention to her body language and signals. Depend on your skill, guys. Andy Smith. 1 second. Andrea Smith, hello. Best app ever for international people like US trying. Okay, maybe useful for someone, I don't know. Mm, okay, our questions, our comments over. I finished the chat. Matt, thank you so much for sharing
yep.
your
Thanks for
experience.
having me.
I hope you also like have this feeling about support from guys, and already it will help to understand your feelings and your actions for future. Anyway, we like ready and want to help you if it possible with match guarantee. You speaking with the Joseph, you know everything about this. It's other
Yes, ma'am.
story. Yeah. So anyway, I wish you like good luck in any your choice, in any your decision. I really appreciate your time and that you are such a brave guy to visit Ukraine during war for meet a lady. For me, it's really like a hero because it's super brave. Not just to visit a lady half of the planet, but in a country with the war, and that you didn't give up, also great sign. You have a strong spirit, and I wish you to find your happiness in the future.
Thank you so much. I wish the same for you.
Yes, thank you, thanks a lot. And guys, I hope it was really useful for you. Matt, hope to see you more at maybe some other opportunities on the channel with your successful story next.
Hopefully, yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, waiting for this. Okay, so bye for now. Thank you for
Yeah,
your
thank you
time.
so much.
Yes, guys, and I will show you our Joseph's story of success with his family. Let's watch this story.
Do you find yourself over 50 and regretting chasing material riches at the expense of family? Do you believe it's never too late, or have you given up? Maybe Joe's story will inspire you and give you hope. After having it all, millionaire lifestyle, all the toys men dream of, Joe still felt unfulfilled. Joe prayed for God to shake it up, to light the path for his purpose. Well, be careful what you pray for, right? Well, bankruptcy and divorce certainly wasn't Joe's plan. In hindsight, it was God's. Joe found himself 50, divorced, bankrupt, and homeless. Little did he know his best years lay ahead. Well, fast forward 5 years, Joe is happily married to his beautiful soulmate Anna, lives the traveling nomad capitalist lifestyle, and his lifelong dream of being a dad has come true. Twice, with 2 darling daughters, and another on the way. Did you know exhaustive research has proven that regret is what we feel most on our deathbed? Well, if you find Joe's story hits a nerve for you now, Joe asks you to trust him just enough to hear his inspiring true life story. Joe promises to light the path for you to find your soulmate and start your family, even if you're over 50.